He's met the Pope. He's charmed royalty. He's the best tennis player on the planet. But Jannik Sinner grew up here, in Sexten, Italy, in the Dolomites. Population 1,800, a remote, picturesque alpine ski village where the pace of life is slow and tennis is almost an afterthought. In this film, I traveled in Jannik's footsteps through one of the most spectacular mountain landscapes in the world, in order to try to understand how a place this small produced someone this extraordinary. I'll ski the slopes where Sinner learned to carve turns as a boy and sit down with Lee Egarter, his first ski coach, for a rare interview. I'll visit the two tennis clubs where he first picked up a racket and meet the coaches who saw his genius before the world did. And I'll find the remote mountain hut where his parents first worked and where their story began. Stay with me because Sinner's origin story is even better than you thought. Let's go, folks. All right, so we're just outside the sports hall here in Sexten, and I want to show you the place where Jannik Sinner first started playing tennis and developed his love of the sport. Around the age of, let's say 6, 7, 8 years old, I think in that range is when he started playing. And we skied this morning with his first ski coach, and she was telling us that in the beginning, he basically just played tennis in the summertime. And skiing was his winter sport. Tennis was his summer sport.
Because I went to ski immediately from 2 to 4. And then twice a week I was playing tennis. And that was it.
Wasn't extremely serious about tennis in the beginning. And so we just took a look at the House Sinner, the B&B that his family ran and that they still do own. And I'm not going to film outside of there because I don't want to invade their privacy. Anyways, it's out there on Google Maps, and unfortunately a lot of people have gone there just to sort of harass them or trespass on the place. And now they have a little security gate outside, nothing big. But you see there's still a sign there that said House Sinner. And I don't want to do that, but check this out here. So we're heading in here. Let's take a look at the tennis courts where Jannik learned to play. And there was an event here, I guess, in the summer of 2024. Actually, it turned out to be, by a sheer coincidence, one day after he got the #1 ranking. They had a big event for him here, and there were like 400 kids from all around the area who came to get autographs and signatures and stuff like that. And he brought a bunch of his trophies. He brought like the Davis Cup trophy. I think he brought a couple of other trophies from major tournaments that he's won and such. And they had like a Sexten is Proud of You event for their hometown hero, Jannik Sinner. But you can see where the setup was good for him here to become a tennis champion, because the house where he lived in is literally a 2-minute drive here. So he had some indoor tennis courts he could use here, just 2 minutes away from his house. That's a pretty nice setup. And then, of course, later on, he couldn't just remain here in this small village. This is only 1,800 people or so, something like that, who lives here. So if you want to become really good in tennis, you can't just stay in a village of 1,800 people. And so later on, I believe at the age of 13 or so, of course, he moved away to go to tennis academies elsewhere, I think like 6 hours away from here or so. And he boarded with a family there starting at age 13. But let's see where the career started. Let's see where his tennis career got its start right here in his home village. There's other stuff here too. It's not just... All right, so as you walk in, as you can see, there's tennis on here, which is a good sign. And I'm told for some of the major tournaments, people gather here to watch the matches if Jannik's playing. See, they've got Tennis Channel on here, and here's a nice big photo of Jannik. Awesome. Hello. Hello. So you see there's a couple posters of Jannik here too as well. And at the moment we could not record on the courts because there are juniors playing there, and they told us that we shouldn't do that. So we're going to respect their privacy. There's also 2 outdoor courts here too. So it's snowy right now, so the courts, they don't have their nets up, but let's take a walk around there because there's not going to be anybody on those courts. So they had 2 indoor courts here and 2 outdoor courts. So what a perfect setup for him to be able to learn how to play. This is the outdoor courts right back here. You see there's 2 of them. And, according to Lee, his ski coach from when he was young, he was playing tennis here in the summertime for the most part. And so these would have been the courts where Jannik first learned to play tennis. And you can see back there that the net posts are up, and you can see the lines on the court. This one has too much snow, so you can't see it, but there you see on the other one, you can see, there it is. So these are the famous courts, and look at the view that he had here too. This is a hell of a place to play tennis, actually, isn't it? Look at that. Very cool. All right, well, that was really wild. I was just walking around, inside this club here, and it's just a cozy little place. As you saw, there's a kind of like a little cafe bar in there, and they've got the two big screen TVs, both with the tennis channel on. And a woman saw me with the camera and said, "Could I help you?" And I said, "I just want to." And I was like, "Wait a second, who is that?" And I said, "Wait a second, this is Jannik's mother. Holy cow. This is her. She's working at the bar. She's working in the cafe bar here here in the tennis club," which I didn't realize. I know she had worked at a restaurant, but apparently now she's working in there. And I just told her I wanted to take a look at the courts where Jannik first played. And I didn't say, "Hey, I know that you are Jannik's mom." I just wanted to be cool about it because I know that I don't like harassing people. I like to be cool about things like this, And she said that there were kids playing on the courts, but I could come back tomorrow morning and take a picture of them if I wanted. But I did, I was allowed to take a look at the courts, just not to photograph them or whatever. The indoor courts, at least, because there were kids on them. But very, very cool. What an interesting experience, and she was very nice. And so cool that his humble family is still living here in this village, still working. They're not, just sitting on their butts, relaxing and counting Jannik's money, right? They still have jobs. They're still humble people. You can really understand by coming to his hometown and seeing how things are here. You can really get a feel for what sort of person you are, and you can understand why Jannik is such a humble guy and a humble champion, and why people love him. And this is where you got to start, folks. Right here in the sports hall here in Sexten. Next coach, Heribert Mayr, and you can see the players are warming up here, but this is the bubble, so this is where Jannik played as a little boy. And I love this. This is just kind of like holy grail stuff for me here, guys, because I love Jannik Sinner, and I love visiting sort of historic courts where people play, but super cool. And this is Andy over here. And these guys didn't want to be on video, but they're super nice. I just had some beers with Andy and Herbert, the first and second coach of Jannik Sinner. And here it is. It's at the end of the day, around a little before sunset, and we're back at Val Fiscalina, this beautiful valley with all the Tre Cime, the three peaks here. And it's a really nice walking path here where you can get a nice, better than nice, spectacular really view of the mountains here. And also, somewhere on this path, there's a Rifugio where Jannik Sinner's father has worked as a chef and may still be doing so. I'm really not sure if he has quit that job or if he's still doing it. But isn't that interesting? So he's out at one of these Refugios. Or how did they get there? I guess you can. Maybe there's a path for them to drive on. I kind of feel like I doubt like he walks on this path to come to work every day. That would seem to be kind of tedious, wouldn't it? So here's this walking path around. It's pretty beautiful. I made it out to Rifugio Fondovalle. It says 1,548 meters. And what a spectacular setting. It appears to be closed, but had to see it and wanted to enjoy this hike also too. But I was hoping we could at least go inside and see if there's photos of Jannik and his father since he worked here. But oh, look. Is it closed for the whole season? Look, there's like police tape here. What the heck is going on? It's very icy. I'm hoping not to crash on the way over here. Why is there police tape here? Ah, Cuso. All right, it's closed. But you get the idea. So isn't it interesting? And so this was probably a 15 or 20 minute walk, would you say, Leo, from the parking lot? And so Jannik's dad was working out in this insanely remote Rifugio, out in this incredibly beautiful place. And glad we had a chance to at least take a look at it. Imagine the lifestyle here. I don't know if you drove out here or walking or what the procedure was, but there's no real road leading here. So I don't know if the employees are allowed to drive on the hiking path or what, but this is it. I just noticed that. Can you see this? I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can. I can't get very close to the front door of this Refugio because of this police tape and their security cameras and stuff. I do not want Hans-Peter Sinner to be running out here with pitchforks. But you can see on either side of the doorway, above the doorway there's 1, 2, 3 different pictures of Jannik Sinner. And so they're actually not trying to shy away from that connection. of this Rifugio. So this is it. Sinner pilgrimage, I guess, ends right here. Very cool. Back at the sport hall, the tennis club where Jannik used to play as a kid. And yesterday, I told you that there was a woman here. I thought it was Jannik's mother. I got to be honest with you. I really thought this was Jannik Sinner's mother. She has a tremendous resemblance to her, but other people are telling me, no, it isn't, right? I thought, I got to come back here tonight to verify. So I just talked to a guy who lives in the town, and he said, no, that is definitely not Jannik Sinner's mother who manages this place. But I'm telling you, man, there is a serious resemblance. And anyway, I'm glad that I got a chance to see this place because it's a really cool club. I also noticed something, too, looking more carefully at the courts where Jannik played here, too. They're actually carpet. So that's an interesting surface to play on. Anyways, that's it, folks. So, yeah, Jannik's mom does not work here. Correction. See you. Bye. Tired of roaming charges? I certainly was. Quick word from my sponsor, Nomad eSIM, who invited me to test their eSIM product on this trip to the Dolomites. It was cheap, it was simple, and our internet was flawless. With Nomad eSIM, you can connect in more than 100 countries instantly. No SIM card swaps, no hassles. You can purchase it now, activate it later, so as soon as you land, your phone works instantly as you arrive in your new country. If you're addicted to crossing borders as I am, hit the link in the description, folks, and get your Nomad eSIM and stay connected wherever you go. And so Lee had an opportunity to teach Jannik Sinner, so everybody knows him as the tennis star, but he was also an extremely promising skier. Yeah. And especially, Lee was saying between the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, he was winning a lot of races. Right. So I think the stuff you're telling me about him, it really tracks with the person we know as a tennis champion, the humble guy who was not arrogant. So tell me your experience with him as a skier with his family.
Yeah, he was a normal guy. Very easy. Yeah, very easy. And he started with us with 5 years. He came in our ski club, and he was already skiing very good because as a young kid, they start with snowblock. But he came just with a very good parallel skiing, and we knew that he was a talent. He was really good. And
you spotted him at an early age, like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, we saw him before also the ski club, and that's why we took him a year before. But normally they start with 6, but he came with 5 years. And yeah, he was doing very well, and he started to do races. And with the age of 8, he became Italian champion in the giant slalom.
That's amazing, 8 years old.
And then mostly of the races he won. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so his first sport was skiing. And he was playing also tennis, but just in the summer, right. Summer a bit, because his father was also playing. But he loved more skiing. Yeah.
And he lived within walking distance, folks, of this ski resort. So imagine that he could take a 5-minute walk and come over here and ski. So you imagine he was skiing.
Yeah,
he was skiing probably all the time, and he still comes to ski. Lee said that he also comes here still sometimes when he's visiting his parents. If it's in the wintertime, he might still come here and ski. So he still does ski, even though he's a pro tennis player. He still obviously loves skiing, right?
Yeah, he loves skiing, and when he's here at Sexten for 1 or 2 days, he tried to goes on the slopes. Depends, of course, how's the weather, but normally he's skiing. Yeah, just 1 day, but he tried to go on the slopes.
And Lee said most of the people here are smart enough and nice enough not to bother him, although sometimes tourists do bother him. So if you do come here to Sexten and ski, and you see Jannik or you see his family, respect their privacy. Don't be rude. Don't be stupid.
That will be perfect.
Respect their privacy, and be cool about it. Yeah. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
But anyways, having a great morning. Looking forward to this. Tomorrow there's going to be sunshine, so a little later on here in this vlog, you will see footage of the mountain. Don't worry. But the snow is really great today. Looking forward. Let's get back out on the slope, should we?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
And it's been an amazing time here in this town. Absolutely love Sexten, folks. Cannot recommend this place any more highly to you. And I'll tell you too, like, what sort of person is this right for? I think it's the right place for a person who really wants to experience nature completely unfiltered. If you don't need discotheques and expensive shopping and things like that, you just really want to commune with nature. You want hiking, you want skiing, climbing, cycling, paragliding, those kind of natural pursuits, and also eating great food while you're here. This is the place for you, folks. Sexten. Hope you enjoyed this adventure. And if you did, please, you know what to do. Engage with the video. Really appreciate you leaving comments, even if it's an emoji. Really appreciate you guys doing that. And it's been an amazing time. Thank you so much, folks, and I will see you in the next adventure. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci.